Nepal and South Korea relations is just over 46 years. In this period, the two nations have established a deep understanding, goodwill and a strong friendship as well. The two nations are also partners in trade and investment, and South Korea also happens to be one of the most preferred destinations for Nepali migrant workers. It gives me great pleasure to announce that in Kantipur News, today we have with us South Korean Ambassador to Nepal, Park Chong-Suk. Your Excellency, welcome to Kantipur News.
Thank you. Namaste.
It's only been 5 months since you assumed office, of course, and especially amid the crisis that we're going through. How has your stay in Nepal and in office been so far?
As you said, it's 5 months already passed since I arrived here. And because I arrived here in the middle of the COVID-19, so my mobility was limited, So even if I wanted to go to downtown in Kathmandu, but I couldn't look around because of this pandemic. But still, I'm trying to meet with various stakeholders nonetheless. And I met with a lot of public officials here, and also journalists, and businessmen, Nepali businessmen also were very active to meet with me. So now I'm very happy.
South Korea and Nepal have been very good friends for many decades now. And it's also one of the most preferred destinations for Nepali migrant workers. There are around 9,000 Nepali migrant workers who have already cleared their EPS tests but are awaiting to go to South Korea. The Department of Foreign Employment has also proposed to extend their EPS certificates by 6 months, but the South Korean government has yet to respond on it. What's causing the delay?
The delay mostly is due to COVID-19. Because of the pandemic, there have been some restrictions. And, but this restriction is not limited to Nepal. It's also being applied to 16 other countries, EPS-related countries. And I'm sure maybe earlier next year, when the COVID-19 is down, then Nepali workers can go, continue to go to Korea. That's for sure.
But there have been news reports that Nepali migrant workers, aspirants, are also making way through Cambodia to South Korea?
Yeah, that's true, but not now. Because before, about a month ago, about 2 or 1 month ago, Nepali workers went to Korea via third countries, but now the restrictive measures is being applied. So let's wait, and I'm sure, because we all know that Nepali workers are making very great contributions to Korean economy, and they are very dedicated and diligent, and they have the discipline, and they have good, Korean language abilities. So the Korean government and the Korean people are really, appreciating their dedication, their contribution. So in the near future, this, Nepali workers' entry into Korea will be made soon.
Are there any strategies already on plan for it?
It's not on plan right now, because everybody knows that COVID-19, even Korea, is now grappling with this situation. On the average, 900 or 1,000 people are infected by coronavirus. So even Korea's domestic situation is not very good, and so we have tonight and wait until the situation is down.
Between 2016 to 2019, the number of South Korean tourists visiting Nepal went up in a significant number. But considering the ongoing pandemic, how do you think we can explore tourism, Nepal's tourism, so that we can entertain more South Korean tourists?
So, as you said, a lot of Korean tourists before the pandemic, they came to Nepal. The number was around 30 to 40,000. But because of the pandemic, not only Korean tourists, but also other foreign nationals didn't come to Nepal. But so I just want to tell you that based on what I've heard from my colleague, maybe you can boost, the numbers of the tourists in Nepal. The first one maybe is maybe you can enlarge the tourist package option. For example, if you are amateur mountain climber tracker, then you only get holidays for a week. That means maybe the trekking course should be, the option of the trekking course could be shortened within a week. What I heard is that there are not so many options. So maybe you can think about that. Nepal Tourism Board or any other related agency can develop other activities, trekking around nearby Kathmandu Valley. Of course, Pokhara and other places are really great place, but Kathmandu is capital, and maybe you have a large room to develop more options, more packages for the tourist. And the second one is in terms of, as for domestic flights, the airfare is different between foreign nationals and Nepali people. That means, well, if you find out that the price is different, that means maybe foreign tourists does not feel at home, very comfortable. Maybe this is a kind of aspects maybe you can improve to raise the number of tourists.
South Korea has supported Nepal in many projects for infrastructure development, healthcare and education as well. What other prospects are in line or in plan at the moment?
I heard some people is well known. That is opportunely hydroelectric power plants. So the Korean companies are participating in these projects as the main sponsor in cooperation with international lenders. And this is a really huge project because the generation capacity will be 260 megawatts. And I'm sure that the success of this project will be a kind of benchmark for Nepal to induce more FDI. And maybe the second project is Korean company is participating in Kathmandu Torai Fast Track Highway project. You know that because this is a national pride project of government Nepal. And so Korean companies are participating as it's a design and monitoring role. Our companies are also participating in the project of laying fiber optic cables in Province 1, and that's another good example because it can boost internet access for its hilly regions in the northeastern part of the Nepal.
This is a really fresh data from Department of Customs here. In the past 5 months or the first 5 months of the ongoing fiscal year, Nepal has imported goods worth 6 billion rupees from South Korea, while it has exported goods worth 60 million rupees. What do you think of the trade deficit, the gap, and what do you think should be done to reduce the gap?
We have to correct this, the current situation. And I think, well, actually, the existing apparatus in place, because World Trade Organization, WTO, is already has the clause that toward LDC countries, least developed countries, advanced countries are giving more preferential treatments in terms of customs duty. So it's called a generalized system of preference. But in spite of this, the system still, the trade deficit, especially in terms of product, is happening. So, well, I personally think because Nepali industry is not that strong, but still they have some, in some sectors they have comparative advantage, like garments and tea or coffee, and other products have have some competitiveness. Nepali businessmen should publicize their product to the Korean buyers, and that's one of the methods. But still, because I think Nepal has large room to develop a manufacturing industry. That's the problem. Korean government, I mean, in terms of development assistance, we are constructing technical vocational training centers. And also, if you change your angle beyond trade products, and you will discover there are other factors like service. As we said, EPS is really huge economic benefit for Nepali workers. So what about the payment, monthly payment for Nepali workers? On the average, monthly payment is $2,000. That means now existing Nepali workers in Korea is 35,000. So they are making money in Korea. And this is about the service trade. We have to correct this situation because this is not right. And so for the correction of this trade imbalance, I do my best as ambassador in Nepal to make some boost for Nepali product to export to Korea.
There are 1.5 million migrant workers in South Korea from all over the world.
Yes.
There have been reports that many of them, or a portion of them, are not getting paid as what was agreed in their contract. Has there been a check and balance to this?
Nepali workers, as well as other foreign workers in Korea, they are equally treated in terms of policy or labor-related laws, like minimum wage, and as you said, paid by employer. But if there are some cases that the payment is in arrears, maybe that company has some problem. But I think because we have a kind of a tool for remedy for Nepali workers if there is a problem, because they can make some lawsuits against this company if there is a problem. So at the present, I don't have the exact reply answers, but sometimes Korean National Human Rights Commission's people are visiting, frequently Nepal to monitor the current situation. Like, we have EPS office here, and they ask, every questions about what's going on for Nepali workers. So we have a monitoring system, and if there is a problem, I'm sure we have this kind of remedy measures.
What can the people of Nepal, people of South Korea, the governments can do to strengthen our friendship?
Important question also.
It's a blanket question, but then...
When I arrived here, the official, he's a high-ranking official, and he told me that I'm lucky because you have a huge asset here. You have honorary Korean ambassadors in every district in Nepal. I know you have 77 districts here, and because of this EPS. As far as I know, around 70,000 Nepali workers visited or now staying in Korea. And well, they have worked or had worked in Korea at least 3 to 5 years. That means this is not, you know, short period. They are not tourists. And when you visit it, you know, for 3 to 5 years, you can get acquainted with culture, language, you know, the mindset of the Korean, you know, the people. So they make this kind of a bridging role. So I think the foundation is almost there, I think. So in that sense, I agree that I'm lucky. I'm very, very lucky for that. And I also, you know, heard from you that you like Korean drama, Korean movie, and K-pop. So we are really happy. And but I know that this friendship should be two-way. It's not, you know, the one-way. So what I have to do as representative of the Korean government, I have to promote, you know, the two-way interaction. So I do my best, and I'm still now in the learning process, but I'll do my best, you know, I promise you.
Your Excellency, it was a pleasure having you in Kantipur News. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm really grateful to Kantipur TV, you know, to make this, to giving me this great opportunity to interact with Nepali people. Thank you.